Yancey.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Jared. And of course, the filmmaker, Laura Lipson, here in the studio with us as well. Let's start off with you, Jared. Black History Month. What is it all about?
Well, Black History Month is the celebration of the achievements and contributions of those people of color in the U.S.'s history. And it's significant. It's been around for a number of years now. Started by Carter G. Woodson in 1926 as Negro History Week. That was the second week of February. And that's significant because it also encompasses the birthdays of Frederick Douglass, a well-known abolitionist, and Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, who later signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which led to the 13th Amendment. So this is significant.
So it's almost like celebrating democracy in South Africa of 20 years.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Laura, now, you are the filmmaker of what is it called, this documentary?
The film is called Standing on My Sister's Shoulders.
Standing on My Sister's Shoulder. Explain.
Okay. It's the idea of, well, the film is about the civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s, and it highlights the achievements and the contributions of the Mississippi women in the movement, who were the grassroots heroines of the movement. And Standing on My Sister's Shoulders is the idea that on their shoulders, with mentorship, these women really rose beyond their humble origins to achieve great things, and we learn from them and are standing on their shoulders.
Standing on their shoulders to grow. On their shoulders to grow. Who founded Black History Month?
Well, again, it was started by Carter G. Woodson, a famous historian, in 1926 as Negro History Week. Now, later in 1969, there were a group of college students at Kent State University in Ohio who said we should do more than just a week. This should be a month-long celebration. And so in 1970 was the first time they celebrated Black History Month, which was later recognized nationally by President Gerald Ford on our bicentennial in 1976.
Talk to us about the challenges of Black History Month from its inception and where it is now.
Well, I think some of the challenges, there's always been a debate about setting aside 1 month for one particular race and their contributions. But I think in looking back at the history of the U.S., it's significant that we recognize this. Every major milestone has had contributions of African Americans. And I think it's important that we highlight that because it's a piece of our history that has been overlooked in the past. And so I think it's important that we continue to tell that story.
So in a way, you bring it back to Africa.
Indeed. I mean, I think there's so many correlations between the story of the U.S. and South Africa. I spoke to a group of young high school students at our Rosa Parks Library in Soweto this week, and we talked about the commonalities in the struggle, if you will. We talked about people of color who were the first in their field to do, a number of things. Your Sheila Sisulus, your Edward Perkins. So we discussed that.
What is the percentage currently, and this is an off-the-mark question, the percentage of black versus white in America currently, the figures in demographics?
The figures, I think last I saw African Americans are anywhere between about 13 and 15%.
15%.
So, I mean, still not as large as, nowhere near the numbers in terms of majority population.
Constitute what, about 30 million, 40 million people? Yeah. It's almost the same as what we have in our country. Now, Laura, coming to South Africa with your film, what do you think, what will happen with this? Is it really just the story that's being told, or what are you hoping to achieve with this?
Oh, it's been amazing. I brought the film already to a few schools and libraries and film schools as well. And I think there's a recognition that South Africa has some stories that are similar to be told.
Do you see the opportunity of the South African story being told similarly?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And when is Black History Month starting, Jared?
When is it?
When is it starting, or is it already in place?
It's the month of February.
Oh, the month of February.
So we've been no worries.
Okay.
So we've been celebrating all month long. We've had speakers to go out, talk to professionals and students. Laura's been in country now with us for a couple of weeks, and we are culminating with a reception that our Consul General is having. So we've had a pretty tremendous month.
Moving forward with Black History Month, are you thinking of taking this continentally as well and around the world?
Yeah, most definitely. All of our embassies and consulates worldwide do some kind of programming around Black History Month, and I think it's significant. Again, even talking about South Africa, the students that I mentioned earlier this week, talking about President Obama and the late Nelson Mandela and their contributions and their achievements were extremely significant, and I think that's a story that needs to be incorporated worldwide.
But let's talk about that. We talked about the challenges of Black History Month. Let's talk about the achievements of Black History Month and what has happened over the last couple of years. Especially you got a black president now, second term.
Indeed. I think it's significant. I mean, as we talked about the challenges and even the accomplishments or achievements, if you will, we talk about this debate around Black History Month. Many have said, Black history is American history. And I think we're seeing that incorporation as we go forward. And I think we will continue to. So I think the relevance of celebrating is still there, but we see an extended incorporation of Black history as American history.
Is there a sense that there's incorporation of the Black African American into the society, into the American society for that matter, over the last couple of years? Or is there still separation in some states?
I think in some cases it still exists. Our country is not perfect. We have our challenges. And I think we work to address some of those things. And my hope is that going forward, it will be a more inclusive society of all individuals, regardless of race, ethnicity, and background.
And through Black History Month, are you then trying to empower other Americans about the Black history of
most
the country?
Definitely, because I think Black history is not just about blacks, but there were whites and Asians and other people, Hispanics, who were a part of that fight for equal rights for all people. So it most definitely.
The southern states was always a problem for Americans as such, or Black Americans. Have you overcome, so to speak?
Well, yes. I think it's quite different in Mississippi than it was in those days. And I think there is so much progress. I don't think young students think so much black, white, or divide themselves in those ways. And certainly the right to vote is established. However, there is still a lot of things coming forward to limit people's rights. So the fight still continues.
You still have states where people walk around with bed sheets at night over their heads. How do you think this Black History Month will assist them to understand and see the other side of a nation that's supposed to be united?
Well, again, I hope that by highlighting these achievements and these contributions of African Americans, we're one human race, as I like to term it, and I think that you have to change the mindset of individuals, and I think the key to that is education. A person who doesn't know is completely in the dark. So I think as we work to educate people about those contributions, my hope is that people will come around.
Coming back to Black History Month here in South Africa, what else are you planning? You said there's a number of speakers, but give us a rundown.
We have done programming at libraries, at some of our American spaces, a number of outreach programs, media things. We'll be with Kaya FM tomorrow morning for their morning program. So just trying to get out and meet with our South African counterparts. And as I said, students, business professionals, government officials, and tell our story.
Is there a major event that's going to happen at a particular place where the public can attend?
We don't have anything any huge event for the public. As I said, as we've done programming, we've done it for smaller venues. So.
But through the media, people would be able to access and see what is happening.
Indeed, indeed.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
that
sir.
was Jared Yancey here, and of course, filmmaker Laura Lipson here in studio with us. Jared is the Director of Public Affairs at the US Consulate. Thank you so much once again for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Now that's